Let's make America great, period.
Period. Make America great, period.
There we go.
I'm gonna hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The lyric scientist lab.
This is us broadcasting from Mother Russia. Not really. Not that we would ever do that.
Yeah, please don't.
I don't think we would ever do that. Why would I do that? Why would we just go there? Maybe we will go there.
I'll pass.
Well, we're going to pass for right now, and we're going to pass it on to...
Whoa, bro. You just committed blasphemy.
It's not blasphemy.
It's fucking 4th of July weekend, and you just said, we can go to Russia.
No, that was the whole point. Leading into the introduction of the 241st episode of the Mad Scientist Lab podcast with Jared, Lee, and RJ.
Wait, how old is the United States? We're close to almost in numbers of episodes to how old
it's
the United States is.
248, I believe.
Is
200.
it?
I think it's 248.
Oh, well, we're almost there.
We are getting close, and
we might have to actually do celebrate like a 4th of July celebration for that day.
I'm okay with that. I'm completely fine with that. And this is us making sure that you guys had a nice 4th of July holiday, because I know me and Jared were really American. I mean, you better have been American.
Doesn't get more American than that.
It doesn't really get more American than us, is what Jared was trying to say, but that's okay.
That too.
But do you know what is very American? The Metro station and Metro cards. And then thinking.
I don't know how American that is.
There's Metro probably.
Oh yeah, your ass.
Yeah,
you were totally unprepared.
I was.
That day.
I was so prepared.
No,
that
bro.
I was unprepared.
No,
dude, it couldn't have gone any worse than
you were the most unprepared to go to any event that I've ever seen in my life.
I can't believe it, dude. So I spent days. All right, and just like me ordering this mini fridge, I guess I just don't have it in me.
Move that away from you a little bit because.
Oh, what this?
Yeah.
Move that back a tad bit.
Yeah.
So, me and Jared decided to go, celebrate our, Americanism, our nationality, if you want to call that. Well,
that's what it is.
Yeah, well, okay, I like it.
See, people use all these terms wrong. Like, they use race as ethnicity, and they'll say nationality as ethnicity. And, no, race is basically skin color, which was made up by fucking, I'm not going to say who. We all know who. Because it's not really a thing.
It's not a thing. We're just people.
And then ethnicity is your actual DNA. Like, that's your ethnic background.
All right.
And then nationality is obviously where you're born and where you're from.
Jared, thank you for breaking that down.
Or if you become a naturalized citizen to another country, then whatever country you're actually a citizen of is your nationality.
I think that was excellent. Thank you for filling us all in, because I'm sure a lot of people don't know the difference between there, and there.
Well,
okay.
Well, that's true too.
All right.
But some people choose not to know the difference between those three.
Yeah, so they can be angry belligerents. But you know how much of an angry belligerent
and control the narrative.
Yeah, don't do that. Well, I wasn't in control of anything. So me and Jared
clearly
decided, hey, it's the 4th of July. Why not go to a baseball game? RJ hasn't been to a baseball game all season. That has been checked off my list. However, in preparation for this game, I took the indubious task and responsibility of not only purchasing our tickets, but having Metro cards, because I have so many of them. It's like, hey, there's got to be money on these.
Well, you haven't been this year, but everybody I tell now, bro, is like, no, it's not even a point. First of all, it's too hard to keep up with a bunch of different cards, because sometimes you end up going multiple times. You'll get a new card, and it's like, fuck it. Why? Just put that shit on your fucking phone, and it's easy to set up. You just go in there, go in your wallet, add a card, or no, it says add a transit card. And boom, fucking put the numbers on the back of the card in. Boom, whatever you had on that card is there. Now, granted, if you have a bunch of shit on other cards, you probably have to go to the booth and maybe they can kind of consolidate it.
Yeah.
I don't know 100%, but I'm off of the cards, so I don't give a fuck. I am now fully on my phone when it comes to that.
I like this. Jared has gone walletless when it comes to getting on the Metro, which is a smart thing to do, what I've learned.
And fucking airline tickets and concert tickets, and baseball tickets. I put them in my wallet because as long as I have my phone, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I do everything prior to. I ordered an airline ticket. I gotta be at the airport this day at this time. So whatever days before, or maybe even right after, I'll put in my fucking in the email like add to wallet, boom, adds to my wallet. Now I can, as soon as I go to the airport, all I gotta do is boop, hammer my ID, scan that shit, I'm in.
Yeah, you're in there. So
Same thing with continue your baseball card thing.
I just yes, this was a true definition of baseball card. So I have
What up, Epic?
What's up, buddy? So I have about 5 or 6 Metro cards, throughout my time. Just I accumulate these randomly too. Like my mom, I get them from one person. I get them from my mom who never takes Metro. I don't know why she has them. Maybe there's something I don't know that's going on. Regardless, so I bought the tickets. I got these Metro cards. Jared's obviously got his own, and I'm like, all right, cool. So we get up early. Because it's a very early baseball game for us. We hit the Metro. Boom. Smooth sailing, dude. Pick Jared up. Green lights the whole way.
This motherfucker's got 49.7 pounds of fucking salmon fillets today.
That actually sounds...
That's from fishing.
From fishing?
Bro, that's fresh salmon. Oh, you gonna have to...
yeah.
You gotta make a trip down here, buddy.
Yeah. just throw some ice on that motherfucker and get down here. Damn, that sounds really good right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Fresh caught salmon?
Oh, yeah. That sounds delicious.
I've never had that before.
Well, that's why he's out there doing.
Yeah, we have to go up there.
So when we get to the Metro, Jared swipes his phone. He's like, "This is me. This is how I do it." And I was like, "Cool." I pull one card out of my wallet. I get through, no problem. I'm like, "All right, bet we're in here." Get down there, hop on the Metro. Normal Metro ride to the park. It starts to slowly condense as we get closer. I almost lost Jared on an escalator. Because I was looking at the back of his head, but luckily enough, he found me. Amongst the masses, we proceed to get on the train, and then once we get to the park, there is another access gate that you have to swipe your card on. So there's a young lady in front of me. She couldn't have been more than 20 years old or whatever. She's got her phone out doing what you did, and she is struggling, dude. Swipe this, and I was so confident I had money on my cards. Pulled one out. I swiped it for her. It went through. I was like, all right, there you go. Got it. Boom. No money.
Well, the other thing about the phone thing is, like, instead of going to the fucking machine and adding money to the card, you don't have to fucking figure out how the fucking this 1992 machine works. You just fucking go on your phone.
I wanted to kick the shit out of it.
And add funds or add money to the card. It says it on there, and then and then you connect either your Apple Card or your debit card to it, and then boop boop. And it adds fucking $10, $20.
It is the way.
So even if you don't have enough, you can just stand off to the side and not block everybody and not fucking have to wait in line and just fucking click. Got more money on my card. Boop.
It is the convenience. I do agree. So lo and behold, I helped the young lady through, and I probably would have gone through with her, but the security guard was literally right there.
They don't play on ball days.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. And that's going to lead to my next point. So I'm like, fuck. So I pulled out the 2 other cards I could immediately find in my wallet. Nothing. I'm like, fuck. I've got all these Metro cards with no money on.
So did you throw any of them away? Or did you,
I have. I
kept one, though, right?
I kept the one that I know that has money left on it. And so
matter of fact, you should put it on your phone right now.
Do you know what's crazy is I think I do have that app, but I can't.
There's no app.
Well, the Metro card app access.
No.
Yes.
No. Bro,
there's a whole. Yeah,
you're not listening. You're not listening.
I understand.
You're not. No, I don't
on.
give a fuck what you're saying.
Well,
let me finish. No, let me finish. No.
That's not how that works.
It is how that works.
Go ahead.
Like I said, you said you have the Metro Card app. No, there is no fucking app. You go to fucking goddamn your wallets. I'm not gonna show y'all on here because that's my fucking information. But so you go to your wallet.
All right, I'm looking at your wallet,
and then you go to add the little plus sign, and it'll say transit card.
Okay, all right.
So you click transit card, and it'll ask you it even has all the fucking shit in there. You just type in Washington D.C. Metro, and then it'll come up, and it'll ask for the numbers on the back of the card, and then you connect the fucking bank card to it, and you're set. There ain't no extra. You don't need. If you have a Metro app, get rid of that shit. You don't need that.
Dude, there is an app for it though.
You don't need it.
All right. Well, I know now.
That's old shit. Like
I know now. But regardless,
this is aggravating me Because it happened last time I went to a baseball game. Everybody was trying to fucking go to the machine. I'm like, bro, just put it on your fucking phone. All you motherfuckers have iPhones. Put it on your phone. And then they were struggling to put it on their phone. I'm like, oh, my God.
Jared watching a bunch of imbeciles at one time.
No, I mean, I don't know how much of an imbecile they are when they have your fucking jersey.
Well, anyway. I'll retrieve it one day.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm like, fuck, I got no money on this. So there's one of these 1992 machines that I've used plenty of times, just around the corner. So I'm like, all right, Jared's already through at this point.
Oh,
so
speaking of this, I broke my fucking thing.
He's
Keep going.
He's already waiting for me. So I go up to the machine. There's maybe 6 people in front of me, and it takes maybe a good minute or so to get some money added to your card. And so I'm like, all right, I'm standing there. I'll get my money, go through. Come to find out, that machine is broken. And there's a security gentleman there, and he says, hey, we're going to let you guys through to these machines, but what you're going to do is you're going to put money on them, you're going to walk back through the gate, and then you're going to scan it and then walk back through again, which is asinine. It's the 4th of July. We shouldn't have to pay for Metro. We shouldn't have to pay for anything, especially taxes.
No, you get punished for being fucking an imbecile.
Anyway, so this is my punishment, right? So guy lets me through, and granted, for about 5 minutes, this guy is completely ignoring all of us. So I probably could have just walked away, but there's other security guards. I don't know what everybody's perception is, how tuned in everybody is. So I didn't want to be a criminal, especially on the 4th of July. I was trying to watch baseball. So I get up to the machine. I add money to my card. I was like, all right, cool. I go back through, scan it, walk through again, and then we are finally in front of the ballpark. And so obviously my first time being there all year, but obviously there's a pretty decent turnout for the 4th of July. People got all the vendors on the side of the road. Now, if you've been to Nationals Park, that whole street is just vendors and shops and people just kind of going bonkers.
It's mostly
restaurants, yeah.
Restaurants and bars.
And so we get there. I obviously take the a very, very, very important picture of the front of the park, as I do every time I go there. And then we get to the line. And then obviously I'm responsible for the tickets, which I had purchased days prior. I went through the trouble of making sure that I had my app, everything all open. And Jared says, hey, this line is long. Let's go to the other side of the park to get inside. Because he's right. Because sometimes the lines on the other side of the park are a lot shorter.
Because people are doing all kinds of shit. They don't know, like some people don't know what they're doing. And they got fucking kids and strollers and everybody trying to get into the one fucking hole. And I'm like, oh my God. I just don't like. And the same thing getting off the Metro. Like when I was telling you, I was like, I always do the opposite of what everybody else is doing because I'm not fucking. You don't accomplish shit when you follow the same path as everybody else.
Yeah. Because
you're going to go the same speed as them. Like, no, fuck that. I'm going to go. I would have went the opposite way, went up and around, and we would have been on the end of the train, and it would have probably been less crowded where we were sitting. I mean, although it was fucking a crazy day anyway, but yeah, so that's why we went around.
Yeah, so we're making our way around the side of the ballpark, and we I got my phone open, I got my app open, and we finally make our way up to the gate where they scan our tickets, and I open my app, and it says, your tickets are not ready. And I start to become extremely flabbergasted and enraged as I have failed my digital doppelganger yet again in the span of 20 minutes.
I don't look anything like you.
But regardless, I'm sitting there. I start to sweat profusely because it's 110 degrees outside.
Yeah, it was fucking gross. Like, this motherfucker was. I'm like, you don't see the sweat, you don't feel the sweat dripping, and
I do.
You don't see it dripping onto your phone. Like
I was so focused on those tickets.
I don't understand why you couldn't just wipe it off.
Well, because I was so tuned in.
No, that was gross.
And I was so.
And then I had to look at the phone with the fucking sweat on it. I'm like, bro, wipe that shit off before you get.
I did wipe it off for him, by the way.
Barely.
Well, it was hot. I mean, I can only do so much. There's so much moisture in the air and whatever the fuck it is, or dry heat, whatever you want to call it.
Moisture was on you. It was gross.
At least I know that my body is still working the way it should. And that made me happy for about 30 seconds as I was fighting.
And I'm sitting there looking at the fucking drips just forming on his eyebrows. I'm like, bro, just wipe your fucking head, man. It's crazy. And then he went to the bathroom right after, takes a piss, and then comes out with a fucking sweaty ass face. I'm like, you're in the bathroom, bro. Like, what? Did you not touch the fucking sink, the water?
I did wash my hands and my arms as I always did.
Why didn't you wash your face?
It's a dirty bathroom.
The water's not dirty.
I don't know that.
Bro, so okay, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
I'm just joking. First of all, it's a joke. Just relax.
Jesus Christ.
I want you to be calm.
But
no. I was kind of in like a hurry up mode because.
No, you weren't, because if I was halfway done with my beer by the time, and I had already bought you a beer by the time you came out of the bathroom.
Well, there are more than just me and you at the park. And there were quite a few people in there. I had to take care of some business, but that's okay.
You had to take a shit.
I did have to take a shit.
Why don't you just say it? Man, this guy.
I pooped in the park, folks.
This fucking guy. I swear to God.
That's why you wash your hands and your arms. But anyway, I already felt like
your
I was taking
arms, but you don't wash your face.
It's not even. I wash my face actually on a daily basis, but I wasn't really in the thought process of doing that because because getting into the park, we missed about an inning and a half of baseball, right? We missed about 15 solid minutes, maybe 20.
Probably more.
Yeah, maybe a good 20 minutes.
Definitely more than that.
Of getting into, well, by the time we got to the gate, I know the game kind of started before we got there, but no, but I'm over there.
We were outside waiting when the game started. And
long story short, I'm able to retrieve the tickets that I purchased that I had all these confirmations for on my ballpark app, and the guy was like, hey, why don't you try this? And I open it, boom, they're right there. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Because I thought we were going to waste the whole day and this podcast was going to be admissible.
I didn't know why you didn't ask the guy in the first place. That's his job to figure out the tickets for people.
Well, I mean, I figured it was just something simple to where a feeble-minded person such as myself.
After you said it, not me. I would have figured after a certain amount of time, you'd have been like, look, okay, I need help, sir. What can I do?
Well, I was so hot from sweating so much.
I was even wondering, I was like, where's the fucking box office where you can go ask a question? But I didn't know where we were. I didn't know where the box office was. If we had stayed on the other side, we could have went straight to the thing. But that's why I was like, why don't you just ask the guy? And then you finally went over there and asked the guy, and he was like, oh, just check your ballpark. And then this motherfucker you deleted the ballpark app? Why would you do that?
Well, one, I didn't delete the ballpark app. I just moved it.
Moved it to where?
Somewhere in space.
You moved it back to the cloud, which means you deleted it off your phone, but you still had it in your store.
Well, the reason I've done that is because
this guy doesn't think I know what the fuck is going on.
See, I like this. Use your mind at it.
I'm not using my mind.
Tell us how intelligent
I'm using,
you are.
You know what? No, it's not about intelligence. It's experience. I just fucking do things, and I remember the process.
So, long story short, we get into the park, and I'm like, oh, thank God. And then I realized I got to take a dump. And then, so, long story short,
you said that already, but keep going.
So we get there. Jared is kind enough to buy the first round of beer. We're in the park, and I'm like, all right, let's move down to our seats.
I bought the first round. To be fair, I bought the first round because I was tired of waiting on RJ to fucking do anything. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the initiative now.
It took him 40 minutes of his life. I probably cost him in that time frame from trying to get in, from me taking a dump. And thank you, sir, for being insanely patient with me. Because
all right, Epic. You've gone too far saying that. That's not the only thing it's good for.
But
he said the only thing baseball is good for is drinking.
No, that's actually very incorrect.
That's very un-American of you. So fuck you on fucking 4th of July.
So we finally get there. We get to our seats. The tickets that I clamored so hard for in the fucking sun. Like literally, if you were in the fucking area the past couple of days, especially on the 4th, you would realize that the sun was closer to Earth than it's been in like 400 years. And it was hot, very hot, to the point to where Jared was saying, hey, man, you know what?
Where'd you get that fucking information from?
Well, dude, that's what it felt like. And you being a scientist and a man of color, you were like, hey, you know what? I'm sick of this shit. And
what the fuck is going on right now?
Hold on.
What does a man of color have to do with anything?
I just know that like you were just like, hey, you know what? I'm too black to sit out here like this shit.
No, that's not what I said.
Well, from the way the verbiage you used at the time, I was like, you know what? I think Jared's right.
No, I said it was fucking hot. It's too goddamn hot. Like that's not anything to do with what my race is, bitch.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's go back to ethnicity, nationality, all that shit at the beginning of the show.
I was just sitting out there, and I felt like I was feeling like I was baking. I'm like, bro, it's too hot to be sitting in these fucking hot-ass plastic seats.
Dude, and it was hot as shit. So Jared made the conscious decision. He said, hey, man, let's go back upstairs, stand behind the crowd.
Well, the other reason for me wanting to go upstairs is there's too many fucking kids on that level.
There were a lot of kids. And when we did sit down, I'm not going to lie, we did kind of block the family in front of us.
I didn't give a fuck about them.
Well, I don't give a shit about them.
Bro, I'm not a tall person, so I wasn't blocking nobody. They were hot too, so they looked like the kids that were behind me looked like they didn't want to be there because it was fucking that hot.
Yeah, they're killing their children in the sun.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's kind of what was happening. But so we go back up, we get into the shade, and we start watching the ball game, and I started admiring the grass, and the field was cut so beautifully on the 4th. Not that it isn't any other time of the year.
I was gonna say that's how it is every day.
I'm just telling you, it looked really good.
I had to tell this guy. I was like, bro, there's a person who gets paid every fucking day to be out here and make sure that grass is fucking beautiful.
Yeah, well, it looked great. So we start to
my picture was great.
Settle down. Yes, you had a much better picture of the ballpark than I.
Well,
you also got a.
I have experience taking those pictures.
That's
my thing. When I go to any park, I mean, I've done it at other events, but usually when I go to the baseball park, I have wherever I'm sitting, I'd like to take a picture just to kind of like, and I may even change that page to all just ballpark, like a chronicle of like.
That would be dope.
Different views from the park look like.
That would be sweet. And you could do it at different times of day, too, which would be really cool.
Well, they all are different times of day, depending on what time of day the game is.
So Jared was like, hey, man, you know what? Let's start moving around. Let's go upstairs. So me and Jared make it our way to the next level where it's less
I was just tired of
the
kids.
Less kid-friendly. Because where we normally sit it is kind of closer to the entrance side of the park.
Well, that family little picnic area is right there too.
So we go upstairs. We start walking around now. Luckily enough, they got these fans that are blowing like, I guess, mist on people that we're able to walk by and kind of soak in some of that to cool down a little bit. And we proceed to do what we do best is drink beer and watch baseball. And throughout the game, we decided to re-up on our adult beverages a few times. And then came a point towards the end of the game where we start standing in line.
I tried to block that out of my memory.
And I don't blame you because I told my mom about it. My mother was upset and probably not as upset as me and you were. So have you ever been that person that's standing in line and you get to be the next person in line and they're like, hey, we're closed? That's exactly what happened to me and Jared. So we get up to this big stand where they sell the taller beers.
Yeah.
And we want to get one more round before the end of the game because it's the 8th inning, still 0-0. And while we were standing in line, Nats hit a run, ended up winning the game 1-0. But me and Jared ended up staying in line for, it was probably a good 20 minutes. We were
20
saying,
minutes,
yeah, a good 20 minutes, right?
Enough to for the game to almost be over.
We get to the people. There is a family in front of us, and then it's me and Jared. We're like
wasn't
literally
even a family. It was just
some fucking honky and her children.
No, there was no children there.
I know. I was just joking.
It was just and you're making these other words up. Like it was just a bunch of fucking drunk people. That's all. It was.
Yeah. Well,
it was like two. It was like a couple, I think.
A couple.
Two couples.
Two couples. Yeah. And so we get up. Me and Jared are finally ready to get our beer. And then the fucking people behind the concessions were like, oh, hey, these are the last people we're serving. Goodbye. And we're like, what? Why? We're standing here.
Dude heard me talk shit, too. I was like, bruh.
We're thirsty.
Because the dude who said it was a black dude. And I looked at him. I'm like, bruh, I've been standing in this fucking line the whole fucking time. He looked like he had this face on him. Like, fuck. Like, but then they fucking shut everything down. So I was like, what the fuck?
There is no leniency when it came to that. And that's what upset me.
Well, I didn't realize by the time we got up to even in the line, it was the 7th.
Yeah.
So by the time we got up there, it was the 8th. It was the top of the 8th.
Yeah.
So that's why they shut it off. But it's like, fuck. Shit.
And so me and Jared are obviously flabbergasted that we just stood 20 more minutes in the sun that we didn't want to stand in. But
what up, Londa?
Hey, Londa, what's going on, buddy? But that what a level of fucking suck, dude.
Yeah, well,
like,
I mean, again, I
now if we were like 10 people back, I wouldn't care as much. But dude, we were literally the next people in line.
Yeah, and it's not like we were asking for a bunch of shit. We were asking for fucking 2 beers.
2 beers. That's it. Like 2 beers.
And the people in front of us were like, yeah, can we get 2 of these and 2 of those and 2 of those? I'm like,
hey, sir, let me get 2 of whatever you have because me and Jared want it and we didn't get it, and we were so annoyed by it. We're like, fuck it.
We should have asked them to get it for us. Damn. I didn't think quick enough. I was so
You know, it's-
so enraged.
I was annoyed too.
I was so enraged.
I was
didn't.
standing there with you.
I know, but I was so enraged. I didn't think about that. We should just be like, hey, can you get it? We'll pay you.
Yeah, fuck it, dude. Well, now this is a life lesson.
Yeah,
We have learned from this experience.
but you would have to have cash in that situation too.
This is true. Or we could have just ran off and like shoved them down the stairs like old people. But not that we would do that. Why would we do that?
I mean, they're pretty far away from the stairs. They're shoving down them.
They are a considerable about 30 feet away from where we were
More
standing.
than 30 feet.
45-ish.
It was pretty far.
Yeah, I mean, it's some distance, yes.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like 30 yards maybe.
maybe it is. But regardless,
it is.
Regardless, so me and Jared, being the men that we are, and then the Americans that we are, we were like, we're not going to tolerate this. We're going to go find beer somewhere else. So Jared had the good idea of like, hey man, it's the end of the game. The sun's kind of died down. Now, granted, some
Oh
kind
no,
of clouds.
it was still hot.
Yeah, still hot, but the clouds had kind of overcast a tad bit. She's like, let's go back down to our seats. So we make the small trip down to our seats, and as we're walking back to our seats, everybody's chanting USA, USA, and I'm like, all right, I like this. And we realized that the fucking ball game was over. So in the span of like 45 seconds, the ninth inning went by from us going upstairs to downstairs, and then it's like, all right, well, now we can really go find some beer. So we decided to leave the park, with a victory, curly W, as we like to call it around here.
That was the one saving grace of that day, is the fucking W.
Well, dude, it was 0-0 till the eighth inning.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I mean, it wasn't the most, very, aggressive. Ball game?
But it's baseball. Like, leave it alone. Don't.
No.
Don't make it sound like that.
No, I'm just saying that we won, and I was happy with it. So we make our way back out of the park down to the bullpen, which is the big kind of lot where they have various, I guess bars.
And you know what? No, it's just a place where people go to fucking drink and listen to music. That's it. But it's an enclosed like thing, like a bunch of cargo containers made into like a fenced off area type thing, and they have like little terraces, and they have a bunch of little bartenders and shit. And then they have a stage, and there's usually a band. Like, actually, we need to fucking hit them up.
Yeah.
Because Scott's band played there one time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wait,
awesome. Where is the all caps sticker?
No, I don't, maybe it wasn't. I don't know where it is. Anyway, it's probably there for a reason. Because it was blocking a bunch of shit and it looked tacky. They're saying. Anyway, what the fuck was I saying?
Talking about the bullpen.
Oh yeah. So then I don't know. I think I'm not a fan of the bullpen anymore. I've been there a couple of times. I think you just got to be there with more people than.
Well, I mean, I
thought we were gonna see other people we knew, and we didn't see anybody. I didn't see any, even though I know there was people that we knew that was in the park. I was surprised not to see any. I usually, every time I go, I always see somebody I know.
And Jared is correct with that, because normally anytime we do go to the ballpark,
I'm talking about anytime I ever go.
Yeah. I know you go more than I do, but I also have kind of inherited that as well, is that we at least run into one person, even if we don't see that person on a regular basis. It's just like, oh, hey, what's up, dude? And it's like, hey, I'm here with so-and-so, and you might grab a beer or two, chop it up with them, whatever. That is kind of the correlation we have with the ballpark. That did not happen. So me, Jared, sat there, watched all these people come in.
Thanks for the 10 gifted, Epic.
And it was cool. But to Jared's credit, the bullpen is something you do need to have like kind of a group of people with, because everybody we did see coming in was obviously drunk, and there were like 3-4 people like, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah.
It was a lot of like, I don't like using that word, but it was a lot of yuppie frat boy types. And
there were a lot.
It was just like, you don't even like baseball. Like, why are you here? You're just here to fucking say you did something American. That's how I felt. Like, it just felt like they weren't there for baseball. They were just, because half of them didn't have jerseys, they didn't have hats, they didn't have nothing. They just had their fucking
red, white,
stupid fucking polos and shorts with fucking flip flops or fucking.
There were a lot of sandals. I was looking at the sandals.
it was that you aren't baseball fans. You're not here for this game. You're here for fucking just to fucking get fucked up on your day off. That's it. And I get it. Do what you got to do, but like, it was just gross. That's why I was like, let's go.
Yeah, I know. It's cool. I mean, we had a good time. We got into the park. We got to see a win. We got to be angry at the beer vendor. I mean, what is not more American on the 4th of July than getting pissed off that you can't get beer? So we get back on the Metro, and no, before we did that, we went to the Pink Taco. The Pink Taco.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Believe it or not, that was my first time in there. First time
in any Pink Taco or just
no, just in general. Like I've never been in. I've never been in there.
Because that started like out west.
It was a nice. It was cool. Yeah. Now, granted, the people there were very busy, and we sat down and had a few more drinks before we hopped on the Metro. But I could tell that if it was properly staffed, it'd be a pretty cool place to maybe chill. Obviously, no. So
we after whatever the last game I went before that, actually, was that opening day? Yeah, I think that was opening day. We went there after, and it was cool. They were decently staffed, but it was also a friend of ours that was working, so like,
yeah,
we were getting it taken care of. So,
and that kind of prompted the question for me while we were sitting there. It's like, are we spoiled? When it comes to service.
No, I don't think that's what it is. I think the service industry just as a whole isn't as good as it was at once.
Yeah.
Because I told you when we went to this place in Arlington, Texas barbecue yesterday, and the service just was not that great. I mean, the food was good, but the service was slow. But he's making sure he was taking care of everybody else around us. But for some reason, we were like, we asked for something in like 20 minutes, he comes back. But maybe they were understaffed too. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was also with a person who's been in the industry doing that exact same job, and he noticed it. So it's like, if somebody who's been doing that job for a lot of their life notices that shit, then it's like, maybe your service is pretty fucking shitty. You know what I'm saying? So, but then you're also always obliged. Sometimes they don't even put on the fucking electronic thing.
Yeah.
They don't even put below 20% anymore.
It's funny you say that. When I was buying the beer from the guy who was just giving out, the guy that carries them around in the cooler, when I went to go tip him, I noticed the same thing. Dude, there was like a 25% button on there.
Oh, no.
Like, yeah,
where we was at yesterday, where I went yesterday, no, I think there was an 18 was the lowest one. It was like 18, 20, 25, and then maybe a 30 or maybe a custom or some shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, these motherfuckers out here being slick now.
Yeah, dude, trying to take your bread without doing the right thing.
I get it. Like, times are tough, but I still think in America they need to adjust that shit and not put the onus of paying the restaurant's employees on the customer. The customer should, like, the server should be getting, it should be merit based. Like, if you do a good job, then us as customers will give you a good amount. In turn, the fucking restaurant / bar should be paying the servers a decent amount of money.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? It's just getting out of hand in this country. It's like, you go to any other country, lots of other countries. You go to Japan and you try to tip somebody, they'll look at you like you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, and I know you've talked about this before.
Yeah.
But as somebody who used to make my living in a similar manner, I agree, because you have to base a lot of your future days based upon your day at work. Nothing is guaranteed. It's like, hey, and when you do have a good day, it will just kind of offset the bad days that you have. So, as somebody who's used to work for tips for a good amount of time, I 100% agree with that. Even though I never worked in a restaurant setting per se, I 100% agree with that. And I wasn't even trying to like go down this road, but that's just kind of what I was that was
Epic,
kind of thing.
you might have to type that one again. I'm not understanding that. But yeah, like I don't know. I think it should be what I pay as a customer should be based on whether or not I believe you gave me good service.
Of course.
And that could be why service has gone down, because these motherfuckers are giving out these electronic things, and like they know they're going to guaranteed to be getting whatever percentage off of this check.
Yeah, instead of just the old pencil and paper kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't think it should be a selection thing. And I know why they do it. That's just a programming / marketing technique. It's
Well,
like,
dude, I bet you it puts
it's
a lot
like
of pressure on that person.
Yeah,
It puts a lot of pressure on that person.
It's a sense of urgency. It's like, oh fuck, should I do this? So, and I'm at the point where I am starting to push back on the shit. Like if I walk up to a place and I order something and they give it to me right away. I can't remember the last place I was at where I did it. But yeah, I felt some type of way at first. But like, you didn't do anything. All you did was take my order. Why the fuck am I giving you a tip?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you took my order. I got my food from another person. If anything, I should be tipping that person.
Yeah, because that person probably watched the guy make it, and then said, "Hey, dude, bring this over to him while I cook this next person's meal."
And then fucking bring my tip over to me. You know,
Yeah.
that's how. You know what I'm saying? That's just my thinking. But the person who takes the order, like, fuck you, like, boop, no, you don't get shit.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, as somebody who like I don't like overly think about these things, dude. But if you're in and maybe we have been spoiled to this degree, but if you're not like personable and friendly with us. Like, even just taking our order, like, whether it's, a glass of water, a Sprite, maybe some, a basket of fries or whatever it is. If you're not personable, you probably don't like doing what you're doing. Now, if you're personable and you don't like doing what you're doing, but you can still be personable, I respect that. That's a big win. That's a big win for me.
It's a financial thing for me. It's like, and Epic said, it was like, if you don't tip good and the server people start not being able to make it, you're gonna have to pay more because their wage is gonna have to go up. No, that's what I said. I think the restaurant should be paying more for the wages, because like in Virginia, for example, I think servers get paid like $2 or something an hour.
Yeah, something crazy, and
they have to rely the rest on whatever tips they get. That's fucking crazy. Like, the restaurant should be paying them more. And no, don't raise my prices, because you're probably still getting paid a fuckload of money. And if you're saying that the prices will go up, I don't think so. Maybe in turn, when these restaurants start going down, maybe leases start going down, because if they can't stay in those fucking places, then leases won't, like, they're gonna have to lower the leases, because if a restaurant can't afford to stay in there, then like that means your fucking leases are too high.
Yeah.
So it's a fucking trickle down effect the opposite way. Like, motherfuckers just need to stop price gouging everything and everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and as somebody who works in a very critically field when it comes to finances, yes, gouging and just the cost of certain things is out.
It's crazy.
It's actually sick.
I saw
sick.
I saw a clip on and this guy, I forgot this guy's name, but he's a very controversial conservative guy.
Yeah.
And somebody asked him, it was a liberal guy asking him a question. He was like, what do you think about rent prices, and how would you fix it? And he gave the answer that I think a majority of people would agree with. It was basically like, what is it, Blackwater Holdings or whatever? I think it was Blackwater. They need to make a law where if you are a financial company are like 500 billion or 100 billion, like worth, like your company's that worth that much, then you cannot buy residential properties. Because what's happening is these companies are buying up residential properties
Okay.
and pricing them so high for people to buy that people can only rent. So
Yeah.
they're only renting from them. So people can't buy houses. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why these days everybody's having to rent. And these companies are just making more money because they're just taking rent. They're getting rent from everything. And then the rent just keep going up and going up and going up. And then there was recently a FBI investigation into some, I forgot the name of the company, some company where they had this software that all these apartment complexes was using. And basically it was saying these are like, you can't have your rent. If you want to use our software to manage your shit, you can't have your rent lower than whatever this price is, because if you lower it, then you're lowering it for the rest of the market. And then, so then everybody's having to do these same prices and they keep going up. And so the market just keeps fucking inflating because this one company is basically saying, hey, only charge this much or we can't fuck with you.
Yeah, I think somebody should be shot. But regardless of what I think, it just stinks. But you hit the nail on the head, dude. I agree.
I hope
with
that
it.
company goes down for real, for real.
You hit the nail on the head, dude. When it comes to anybody who works in the service industry, we have a lot of friends that still do it. We'll probably
How are you going all the way back there?
No, well, what I was just going to say to lead up to that is that people should be kind of paid what they deserve. You should be tipped off your merit. That way, it's good for everybody in the end. You should not be punished for wanting to go out.
You go to
you should not be pressured.
Yeah, exactly.
You should not be pressured.
And you go to any other country, you go to the UK, they don't. They're happy to get tips because guess what? They're getting paid, and it's not like they're a fucking third world country and they're not. Their fucking prices aren't exorbitant amounts of money. You know what I'm saying? So,
of course.
So actually, to be honest, Epic, your argument is kind of like out the window because other countries do the same thing. They fucking tip, or they don't tip, or they don't require tips everywhere, service fees or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah,
and they're doing just fine.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying?
And you're talking about into today's United States economy too, which is admissible to every degree. But
now, granted, I don't know everything. I'm just telling you, like, from what I observe and I kind of soak in information from like other people, like people from Twitch, who live in the UK, and they talk about and they've been to America, and they say the same thing about like fucking what the fuck, what is up with your tipping system in America? You know what I'm saying?
It's ass backwards, and there's somebody I've always wanted to get on here to talk about this, and I'm gonna continue to nag that person until they tell me to fuck off or until they come over.
Well, you're not nagging enough.
Well, I'll become a I'll start nagging. But it is what it is. Long story short, we had a great time at the ballpark, and I'm glad I got to spend my first game with you. Not that I would spend it with anybody else, but on the 4th of July, nonetheless. And I really felt like, maybe into my 4th beer, I felt like an American. I'm not going to lie.
Until your 4th beer?
Well, I felt like an American, but then when I was drunk with you and we were looking around and we were like, yeah.
I think you overuse the I feel like an American thing. It's a bit much at times. You give... I love this country. You know what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't live anywhere else, but you fucking overdo it. Like, I think you're, and especially people who watch that aren't from here, you're making it seem like this. It's still fucked up. So let's be real. There's some fucked up shit about it. So relax on the I felt like an American.
Well, that's the cruel irony of the statement. But anyway, but I had a great time, dude. I hope we can do it again. But let's move on. Let's roll down the hill. We're rolling down the river, as they used to.
You're the one that wanted to talk about this for 50 minutes.
Well, I didn't plan on talking about it for 50 minutes, but that's okay. Do you know what I was really happy about, dude? The new Beverly Hills Cop. I know that you had watched it the day previous. I know you watched it the day it came out, but I watched it yesterday, and believe it or not, I watched it again this morning. I actually watched it twice.
I was gonna watch it again yesterday, but I was like, you know what? I want to watch the original again. Because I kept seeing clips on TikTok, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just watch the movie.
And I will say, I've never been super, like, maybe this is something in the back of my mind, but the day and age that we're in now, where streaming services are taking over kind of the whole theater, extravaganza. It's like, all right, you're making the fourth film of a very beloved series, and the third one wasn't really well received.
It's not even about being beloved. The movies, the first two were actually good movies.
No, I think they're excellent movies. I agree.
People don't realize how good those movies are, especially the first one.
And so,
actually, that's gonna be. I didn't fucking have time to do it, but that's one of the sound effects I have.
I'm glad you did that, because
you don't even know which one I'm talking about.
Oh, dude, there's a lot you could pick from.
There
was a couple.
There's one that really.
Get the fuck out of here!
No. That's
dude,
too obvious.
I know, but
no, I cannot.
Dude, I loved it. So I watched the movie. I went into it with an open mind, because I'm like, man, I'm either gonna really fuck with this, or it's just gonna stink. Like that was like the only mindset I had. I didn't want it's okay. I really enjoyed it.
I don't think they were gonna make it stink. I knew they were like.
I felt it.
The fact that you can bring everybody back and they've still evolved. The story makes sense. That they are in the positions they're in.
Yes.
And not just like fucking Top Gun Maverick is like, oh, you're still a captain, and they had to explain why he's still a captain. First of all, they could have gave him a higher position, but maybe it wouldn't have been realistic if he was in a higher rank and he was still flying. But even still, he's a pilot. He's always going to fly.
Yeah.
So you could be a test pilot and fucking be I don't know. For me, that was a little weak part of that story.
Yeah.
But this, of course, was Taggart. He should be the fucking chief at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was always he had the integrity, and he was a good cop. You know what I'm saying? And then Rosewood, basically leaving because he found out that there's people who are corrupted, because he's a good guy.
Yeah,
exactly. I guess I'm kind of giving some stuff away, but
a tad bit. But I will say that if there was a reimagination of an older popular film series, this was done the right way.
I agree.
It wasn't overly exasperating. It hit all the key points with the story, the characters. They filled in the right slots.
And you know what I really picked up on? The action was similar to 80s action.
It was. And
the car crashes and explosions and stuff like that. Of course, the old guys can't move like they used to, but the action was still like that 80s feel.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And even the opening scenes of the film, where it's, he's kind of driving through Detroit, and it's doing the cuts of the and they're like, hey, fuck you, Foley. And he, it's just like, hey,
say fuck you, Foley.
The kid that was blowing up the fireworks at the very beginning.
Oh, he was joking around.
Well, I know, but the cool thing, it's reestablishing the character, his status within the community that he has built throughout, the franchise.
Yeah.
And then, I know when it comes to action comedies, the comedy is always going to be the sweet spot for the most part if the action isn't done right. But the action was done well. It's like, all right, what little one-liners are they going to do? What is he going to say? And I will tell you, Eddie Murphy did a great job just reprising his role. It wasn't too serious. There's a good few times that I legit laughed out loud. I was like, all right, that was good.
I did too.
Yeah.
I was surprised that there was actually parts that actually made me laugh. There's not a lot of movies that actually will make me chuckle.
Yeah.
And there was parts that was and I had to go watch it again, but there was parts that was that actually was fucking funny.
Yeah, no. And he was teasing his daughter on his last name. He was like, "Oh, this is how you spell it."
Oh yeah,
yeah, dude.
I was like, "Oh, that's one of his old." That's one of the Jewish characters from Coming to America.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's Eddie right there."
Yeah. So I think the sequel was really, really done well, and I liked the poking of fun at the trilogy, because when he meets Gordon Levitt, and he was like, "Oh, have you seen your rap sheet?" He was like, 87. great. 89, whatever. And he's like, and then there's one in 94.
That's
He's like,
Gordon Levitt is
the Bobby, the guy that's kind of with him that was dating his daughter.
what he was. Is he the kid that was? I see dead people.
No, that's that's Haley Joel Oswald or
Well,
something.
who's that guy? I've seen him, but I just don't remember what
Jason
I saw.
Gordon-Levitt is he's he's in like every fucking
Name one, fool.
he's in Inception, he's in The
Okay.
Dark Knight,
Don't remember Dark Knight.
or he's in The Dark Knight Rises.
He's
He's Robin, pretty much.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is but he kind of poked fun. He was like 94. He was like, not your finest hour, and I thought that was funny because
that was
the third film.
Yeah, that was Wonder World.
And he was just like, "Oh, not your finest hour," and I just thought it was funny.
But
that
it was true because it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, they were it was like
They were poking fun at the movies.
at the movie itself. Oh, I didn't realize that. But at the same time, if you watch the movie, like he was kind of fucking up in that movie. Like they almost fucking had his ass going to jail.
Yeah, so it just I just thought it was really cool to poke fun at the I like little things like that, the little Easter eggs. But if you guys haven't seen it, please check out Beverly Hills Cop Axel F on Netflix. If you're a fan of Beverly Hills Cop, I'm pretty sure you will enjoy it. I was completely pleasantly surprised. I watched it twice. I haven't done that for anything in a while.
FYI, that was my nickname in high school, Axel Foley.
Yeah, Axel. So that just shows you the impact of this character.
And then I realized why when I watched the original last night. I realized why I was called it because what I was doing was like fucking around with somebody in auto mechanics class, and I was behind a pillar and I jumped around just like, and I realized how he jumps around the corner. And I was like, and the instructor was like, Axel, what are you doing? and it stuck. Everybody started calling me Axel Foley.
That's fucking dope, dude. So if you're talking about, we do live in kind of a day and age of where they're kind of trying to introduce franchises to the younger Lord, I got to talk about.
Well,
Star
you can't
Wars.
really. I don't think that one's not for the younger population.
No, it's not. There's a lot of derogatory language in it, but it was enough.
What derogatory?
Well, I wouldn't say derogatory. Excuse me.
Motherfucker, go watch the original again,
dude. I know. That's why I like it so much because it did just enough to where it wasn't over the top. And I, as somebody who likes to see some outlandish shit sometimes, I don't like when things are overdone. Period. Because
this wasn't overdone.
No, not at all. It was perfect.
Speaking of overdone, we don't have to dwell on that for fucking 80 minutes like you like to do.
You want to know what's overdone?
What's overdone, and I'll tell you right now, is fucking Acolyte, episode 6. I'm done over it.
So I'm glad you said this because after I watched this movie yesterday, I was like, you know what? Let me get caught up on Star Wars. And
No, don't say Star Wars.
You know what? You're right.
The Acolyte.
I'm going to call it The Acolyte because you're right. Because I watched the 6th episode after watching the 5th episode, which we kind of praised a little bit. And then I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
We're back to the bullshit.
Yeah. My mom was like, what are you watching? I was like, why don't you get out of my room? Like, that's God
damn.
I actually didn't say that to her. She had brought me a plate because it's my mom. She likes me and I don't like getting up sometimes. But anyway.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying you're lazy live on air.
Yeah.
Got you.
Anyway, so I watched the 6th episode and I was like, all right, man, like, what can we look forward to? Like, I was like, all right, we're building something, just like we talked about.
I don't think there is anything. I swear to God, and I found out there is 2 more episodes. So there's 8 episodes.
So 8 episodes. Okay, so we've clarified that.
Yeah.
Well, now that's going to make me just pray to God that
screaming.
Sorry, I'm just watching that episode.
At least if you're going to scream away.
Duly noted. So we go into the episode. Spoilers, by the way. Not that we're telling you to watch it anyway.
No, watch it. I mean, if you're a Star Wars fan, then fucking watch. Like, come on, man. Like, that's crazy. And I would rather people form their own opinion about it. If you're a Star Wars fan, you should be watching it anyway.
Okay, I do agree with that. I'm sorry for being an angry belligerent. But we get into the episode. Osha and May kind of switch places. All right.
They switch places in the 5th episode.
Yes, from the previous episode. So now we get to see the Sith, quote unquote.
Yeah, that's still
Up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're seeing, and so what I did for you, Jared, I only did this for you because I would never do it for anybody else. So I decided after I watched this episode, I watched the new Rockstars episode on
Jesus.
yeah.
You're finally catching up on
Yeah.
everything that I've ever fucking told you since we've been doing this fucking 200 and some episodes ago.
Well, since it's America's birthday, and I know you're an American.
Don't do that. Don't do that. No,
I know. But I was like, you know what? Because this lore is important to you, but it's also, as goofy as it might be, it's very important to me too, because I love Star Wars too. I want to be seeing people get choked to death from the air and slammed into the ground. All sorts of shit.
There's no other than. And first of all, motherfucking Dave Lawless, don't fucking. I didn't say that fucking what's his name Kimar was the best Sith that I've ever seen. I said he's one of the best Sith that I've ever seen. Of course, Vader will always be the best fucking Sith.
Period.
Now, however, I have downloaded the Audible for the Darth Plagueis novel, and I will be listening to that, and I will get back to you guys.
Yeah, all right. Well, so we kind of learn nothing. We learned nothing in this episode. We kind of learned that these characters are obviously still hiding something, even on the Jedi side to a degree.
I don't think they're really. Well, yeah, the Jedi side for sure they're hiding something.
So
can I tell you my theory?
Sure. Go ahead.
And it may end up ruining the whole entire series, but okay. So my theory is, I forgot the green lady's name. I thought starts with an A, I think.
Yeah, she is in the Clone Wars animation series, I believe.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
I think that she was Kimar's master.
Okay, I'm liking this. Go ahead. Keep talking.
And something happened. Okay, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they were toying with the dark side or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just.
No. I like the fan theory thing going on.
But because that's the reason I say that is because he has scars on his back. And they look like they could be like a whip scar.
I did want to ask you about this, Tugo, but
it looks like it could be like a whip scar on his back. She has a lightsaber that's a whip. So that's just my thought there. I think, I don't know, but that's kind of where it ends. But I do know that fucking, what's his face did some fucked up shit. They all did some fucked up. That's why they're killing them. And Kimar was part of that fucked up shit.
So what I think, and before I even go any further, the first time I saw the lightsaber whip, I immediately thought of you, and I was like, does Jared like that?
I'm not a fan.
Yeah. So I thought it was tacky. I thought it kind of disrespectful.
I've heard of it, but I'm not a fan.
Is it
of
an actual? Now let me be like a noob for a moment. Is that a real thing? Is that a real thing?
No, that well, it's in canon.
If it's in canon, I'm okay with it.
You already saw fucking. You just told me where it came from.
Well, that's true, but at the same time, I just didn't know if that was a thing before the stuff that I grew up watching, like the whole lightsaber turning into a whip.
Well, bro, none of it's gonna be before all these novels and is all before the shit you grew up with.
Yeah, I know. So that's why I was just like, oh, cool, lightsaber.
Or not before. I mean, after. It's all after.
And I was like, oh, then I was like, and then she turned it into a whip, and I was just like, is that like PC?
I mean, it could just be her power.
Okay, that's fair, and which I'm okay with
because you got to remember all the saber is just there. Like it's the kyber crystal, and then it's the energy, and they just put it into a saber, and she just might happen to know how to make it into a whip.
Okay, which again I'm completely fine with. But when I saw it, I was like, hey, that's cool, but do I like this? Like I was literally questioning if I liked it or not.
I mean, I think there's just a lot of power that we have that do powers that do exist.
Yeah.
That we just haven't seen live action. Because we haven't read the novels, so we don't know what the actual
I feel that's very fair. Yeah. I feel that's very fair. But what I think is because he said that when May asked him, he said, "Oh, hello." He's like, "Oh, I've been around for a while, a long time." She's like, "Oh, no, a really long time."
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
So you said you watched New Rockstars.
I did.
I kind of was starting to agree with that. I was thinking, even when he said that, and I was listening to that before I saw the new Rockstars, when he said I've been around for a long time, I'm like, that means, okay. And then I'm putting two together. I'm like, okay, he's possibly human, but he's been around for a long, long time. There is the theory of creating life and through the Force.
Yeah.
And then, bringing people back from the dead. What if you learn the power to keep yourself alive within the Force?
I mean, that at this point doesn't sound astronomical from kind of things, the things we've seen. But what I'm hoping for, because the series for the most part has been less than stellar, for other than a good few moments.
I think. Okay, let's. Here's what I think I'm trying to do. Let's stop focusing. Yes, we know the series is not great, but the things that may come out of this series, as far as the story and the canon itself, I think hopefully they can make that a good thing.
Okay, that I agree with, and I know you said it before, but I want
I didn't
to
say that before. That's the first time I ever said that.
No, but when you were when we were talking about the first two episodes, you're like, hey, I'm gonna just kind of hold off on it.
No, what I was saying was I'm holding off my full opinion of the show until I see the entire show. What I just said was, I get it. We're 6 episodes in. The dialogue and the writing is trash, but maybe some things that can come out of it that will add to the canon that still make the story, the whole entire thing, better or good, I should say. Or not even good, just add to it.
Yeah, no. Well, lore again. We were looking for lore the entire time when the show was free. I mean, that's kind of what they're advertising.
Oh, you got to go ass out.
What?
I'm functioning with. He said he's got to go ass out.
Who's going ass out?
Epic. And then he said, I'm functioning with one eye open at this point. Have a wonderful rest of the episode. I'll post more shit on Snapchat for RJ to see. If you want to add me on, I'm basically ass 59. Ass 19 or A55519.
A5.
Yeah, if you want to add Epic on Snapchat, it's A55919. I can't even fuck. The fact that he said he had to ass out, that's crazy.
I think
he's been drinking for 12 hours, so we'll give him a pass.
Oh my god, I couldn't even imagine. I did that when we went to the park, and I was done.
We didn't drink for 12 hours.
I drank for 12 hours.
You did not drink for 12 hours. You didn't drink from fucking 11 to, or no, what time we get? Yeah, 11 to 11.
I drank enough, put it that way.
Okay, you didn't drink 12 hours. Shut up.
But with the lore that comes behind the characters and just us kind of, obviously as fans, wanting to see like just something new, something different, the only reason I think the episode didn't hit where I wanted it to is because it ended again in just some
the abrupt endings are fucking ass.
It's ridiculous, dude.
It's like, first of all, you didn't give us any fucking story, and then you want to end it like it's a cliffhanger. It's like, it's not a cliffhanger. You didn't tell me anything.
They're like ending things that should like go to commercial for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if we were and so I think that's another reason I was a little upset with it, because
but that's how they're directing the shit too. That's another thing. The directing is kind of a little off too. And this is gonna sound fucked up.
It is fucked up. No, not really.
But a lot of this people who run the show, directors, writers, producers, I'm gonna say it. They're all women, and they're gonna all be doing women things, and like this is scientifically proven.
This is not a drill.
Scientifically proven, women move on emotion, men move on logic. All I'm saying is, I don't see a lot of logic in this series. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Well, I was just complaining about it for the last 20 minutes.
I know.
So I think you might be kind of getting on to something there. I'm going to call you Skipper from now on.
I don't know. Actually, when I said it, when I was formulating that thought in my brain, I was like, I might be onto something.
This dude, it does suck because we don't want to be those people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you become those people, you get outcast by society because of you being those people.
Bro, stop doing it five times. You know, the first time was good enough.
You don't want to be those people.
Here's one thing about here's the thing about comedy. Here's the thing about comedy. It's like,
you got to teach me a lesson.
just a little bit.
Here we go.
You don't do the same thing multiple times. If you should even if you're writing a joke, you don't say the same thing more than once within the bit. In that bit that you just did, you did it fucking 4 times. It kills it. People are like, "What the fuck are you like? Where's the rest of it?"
Well, one day when I get on stage and make you proud,
You're not getting on stage.
maybe I will. Who knows?
You know how many people tell me, "Oh, I'm writing my stuff and I'm gonna get on stage."
Maybe I'll smoke some meth and get on stage.
You're
Who
not
knows?
gonna get on stage. Nobody.
well,
and if
that-
you do, great. More power to you. Guess what? That's not the end. If you want to do this shit, it's a long, long, long road, and it's one of the most frustrating fucking roads you can ever fucking take. So if it's not for you and you fucking a little weak bitch, don't start comedy.
Don't be a weak bitch, folks. You heard it here first on the Mad Scientist Lab podcast. Anywhere you get your podcasts, that is Apple Music, Spotify, all that good stuff. And every Monday at 9 a.m. sharp for the visual on YouTube. Make sure you check us out. Hit that subscribe button, notification. That way you are alerted to our presence. Not that you aren't currently.
Speaking of Tuesday, well, that should be good by then. Doing jokes out of the bag at Shooters on this coming Tuesday. I got to come up with some more. Actually, fuck, man. You know what? I ask people to do shit for this fucking channel, and they never do it. But basically what we do is we ask the audience for suggestions, and there'll be some extra suggestions that I wrote, which people are starting to take my suggestions a little too fucking, what's the word? Like, not legitimate, but damn. I can't.
I'm trying to think of a word too, but
like they're
it's not computing.
like because I write a lot of them, like whatever is in the bag.
I got you.
So when they pull it out and then the audience hears it and they know I wrote it.
Initiative, is that the word?
No.
Okay.
They know I wrote it. Then they always like, oh, they take it as like literal, like that's me fucking. And I was like, no, I'm just fucking writing shit to fucking entertain you fucks. So I try to put funny shit in the bag. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just, I don't know. But then there's also just annoying people that come sometimes, and it's like,
Who doesn't like the good annoyance every now and then?
no.
I'm just joking. Annoying people.
Yeah, it's
suck.
like I don't know. It's making me not want to write fucking shit just for the sake. Like a lot of times I just write fucking random shit, and they're like, "Where'd you get that from?" Like, motherfucker, you're missing the fucking point. The point is the motherfucker pulls out the bag, or you, motherfucker, whoever's one of the comedians, you fucking pull the shit out of the bag, you read it, and you think about some shit, and you fucking say some shit about it.
Yeah.
You don't have to comment on the fact of who wrote the shit. Just fucking do the job.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm getting frustrated with it right now.
No, well, I don't want you to be frustrated. We don't want you to be
All right,
frustrated.
don't sound like an announcer either. Keep going. But don't fucking make everything sound like a fucking goddamn...
Well, that's my job.
No, it's not. You're not a fucking baseball guy. Like, just, come on, man.
Well,
Loosen up a little.
I'm loose.
Okay.
I'm loose as a goose, you know,
All right.
or geese. Have you ever thought about, have you ever been close to geese, Jared? They're
Yes.
fucking crazy.
Yes, when I was a kid.
Yeah, and they
But I'm not
just,
a bitch either.
I would have fucking killed this geese. But
No, you wouldn't.
no, his name was Zeke. I named him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So hold on here. Let me tell you a story real quick. So when I was a child, okay, back in my youth, we used to go to this park in the local area, and
Is this going to be a 50-minute explanation?
no, I just like to be descriptive. I can't help it. My apologies. Regardless, so there used to be these geese that used to sit down by, the lake, the river, whatever you want to call it, the pond of water. And there was one that had a little, I don't know. He looked like he was something from the X-Files, like something scanned it and was like, yeah, this is human number 5 kind of thing. Anyway, we named it Zeke, me and my friends, as children. And every time we would go back to the park, we would see the same geese. Or at least we thought it was the same geese.
You don't have to eat the microphone.
And I remember one time we went out there and we saw, Zeke, the geese. All right. I didn't name him. Regardless, he was running around and we were like, oh, here, let's go chase after Zeke. And we're all like kind of clapping our hands, running after, the birds, being dim-witted children. And they kind of got a little aggressive. All right.
Yeah, because you were attacking him.
Yeah, we didn't think we were attacking the geese. However, the geese felt otherwise.
Goose.
Goose. All right.
Goose is singular. Geese is plural.
I understand. Well, when I used the term geese, we were chasing the flock, but we were chasing the goose, which was Zeke. Okay, so just to clarify.
So he was defending himself.
Yeah, he almost killed somebody.
So he was defending himself
Yeah,
against
he
a bunch
was.
of fucking kids that were fucking basically antagonizing him.
Yeah, we were antagonizing him. Yeah, he was flapping them wings, dude. And when I say I saw the feathers flying off that motherfucker, it was
Guess
crazy.
what? You all deserved it.
We didn't feel the same way at the time.
Of course you didn't at the time, but you grow up and you realize, don't fuck with nature.
No, and I haven't really since, to be honest with you. But we thought he was cool, and
You thought a bird was cool?
I mean,
a wild bird was cool. You thought a wild animal was cool.
he was just sitting right there. He was just chilling. But we didn't, dude, the guy could have been like, the local guy at the bar. It's like, hey, what's up, Zeke? And he's over there pounding a Miller or something,
That's not how that works.
Well, I learned the hard way, sir. And, well, nobody died.
I've never been, knock on wood, I've never been attacked by any animal.
I've been attacked by several animals in my life.
That's just your aura then. That means you put out, like, animals fuck with me.
No, so do they fuck with me.
No, they don't, because you've been attacked.
I've got an animal. She's cool.
And you've been attacked by it. Her.
She just doesn't understand.
No, she understands that you don't like fucking animals.
Well, I do. I love animals.
That's your problem. You sound like a crazy person.
I don't sound crazy.
This motherfucker, I love animals.
No, but oh god, now I'm starting to think about all the other animals in my life.
Emotional damage.
It's very possible. But I just, I try to be a kind-hearted person, Jared.
See, that's a problem. You're trying. You're trying too hard.
What, to be just like, hey,
people, especially children and animals, they can sense when you're trying too hard.
No, I know my cat loves me. At least momentarily, for whatever it is. No, dude, I've always been a fan of animals. I've always gotten along with animals. But there have been times in my life where something was, whatever it was just not being friendly. It's like, oh, you're a little dick, aren't you? And then they just kind of react a certain
I'm
way.
literally thinking back. There was only one time I had a gerbil. But the motherfucker got loose, and I had to fucking pick him up. Like, he ran off, and I had to get him. And one time, he was like...
Oh, it's a gerbil.
And yeah, I was like, okay, that was not fucking cool. And I still had to fucking go grab his ass, even though he fucking that scared the shit out of me. But you saw his little teeth and shit. I'm like, oh, this
little buck teeth just trying to sink into your fucking skin, like, like a vampire.
He died a couple of days later.
Oh shit! Oh my god.
But then I found out that they really hibernate. I don't know. So I found out recently.
Sorry I brought it up.
No, I found out recently that gerbils can, and this is apparently has been a thing with a lot of people, and everybody was like, wait, what the fuck? Maybe I buried my fucking gerbil alive?
Oh, God.
Yeah. So there's this thing, I forgot what it's called, but like gerbils they'll, like if they're cold or too cold or whatever, matter of fact, I think it was in this fall or winter, but if they're too cold or something, but I don't know, they will go into like hibernation.
Yeah.
Where it's like they're almost seem like they're dead.
Oh shit.
So yeah.
Oh shit.
So I remember one day, and I had I got it for my birthday, and like it was only maybe a few weeks later, and I'm like, I don't think this motherfucker's supposed to be. He was doing fine. He would run. I had a little ball I'd put him in, and he'd run around the house in the ball. Fucking, he had a hamster wheel. He had food available, and it was just like one day he was just not moving.
That responsive.
Yeah, and I told my mom, I was like, I don't think he's moving. But anyway, so we ended up putting him in a shoebox because we thought we thought he was dead. Turns out, fucking 40-something years late, not 40, but like 30-something years later, I found out that these motherfuckers potentially could be hibernating.
You killed your gerbil. That's what you're telling us.
No, I'm not telling you. I didn't say that. But this is what I'm saying. I'll look it up. Why the fuck are you laughing?
I don't know, because it's awful, but it seems appropriate. Maybe. Well, Jared looks up the death of his own gerbil. What was his name? Her name.
I don't remember.
Did you call him Nibbles? Perhaps.
Actually, let's look up gerbil lifespan.
Here.
Real quick. Oh, damn. Well, nope. Didn't live that long.
Should I get
Wait,
a
no,
gerbil?
No, it wasn't a gerbil. It was a hamster.
Well, I like that headline right there. Should I get a gerbil? Should you? That's something you should, between
2 or 3.
you.
Oh, yeah. Hamsters don't live that long. So he could have been.
Oh, damn.
dead.
I didn't realize. Well, I mean, it makes sense. Excuse me.
2 or 3 years. But it wasn't that. But let me look up gerbil. Hold on.
Well, I think everybody had the one gerbil in their science class or in their classroom or the hamster. And
No, I had one in the house because I had a dog before that. But when we moved back up here, we couldn't, the place we were moving into didn't want pets. So we had to leave them behind at basically a pound.
All right.
Which sucked. That's kind of what I want a dog these days, but I want to make sure I'm stable and enough to keep it. Hamster hibernation.
Just a little ball for what's up, buddy?
So, read that, or do I need to?
I did the very top one. Hamsters can enter a state of hibernation, but domesticated hamsters rarely enter true hibernation. Hold on. If the temperature of your hamster's cage is over 20 degrees Celsius, then it isn't very likely it's started to hibernate.
Oh, so it died.
Okay. So we've clarified that you have not killed your hamster. Okay, which is a good thing.
Could have been sick from the fucking pet store, to be honest.
You don't know. I mean, with a lifespan of 2 to 3 years, that's very questionable. It's very questionable. I'm just glad you didn't fucking commit murder.
Well, no, but when I saw that a while ago, no, it's not committing murder.
Well, it sounded like murder.
Apparently, people have done this throughout a long time. Like they didn't realize it, because you usually think that they're gonna live a little longer, but people be like, okay, well, I fucking have this hamster. I haven't had it that long, and then it's just fucking.
Yeah, it's just like a little.
But when it's hibernating, it's almost like it's dead. Like you can't barely detect a heartbeat or anything.
Is there?
So people have probably buried their fucking hamsters alive.
You sick fucks.
They don't know they're doing it. This is what I'm trying to tell you. The whole point was people found out later on. It's like, oh my God, I may have killed my fucking hamster.
Let me ask you this, and you might not know because we're on the subject. Is there a way to just like kind of be like, hey, wake up, buddy. Like, get up.
I don't think so. I think it said like,
And I'm not saying like throw stones at it.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about. You're asking way too many questions.
Well, it just seemed appropriate at the time with what we're talking about.
I just don't. I don't know enough.
Okay,
I'm just telling you. I found out not too long ago that it's possible that they could be hibernating. That's all I'm saying. That's all I was saying.
Good.
Jesus.
Yeah. Jared killed his hamster. Anyway, we're gonna
kill you, motherfucker.
I'm just joking. No, but you would think like, hey, like you can be like, hey, little buddy, like roll over. Play dead. No pun intended. Something.
They're like cats. They don't fucking listen to you.
My cat listens sometimes. I would say 5% of the time, possibly. Only when she wants things.
Cats
and then the other
don't listen. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Well, she hasn't like launched at my face and like clawed to my arm or something like that recently.
I was gonna say recently, but yeah, they don't fucking. Cats don't listen. They do what the fuck they want to do.
I'm very aware of that. She's pretty much the most important person in the whole household. It actually is kind of crazy how that works, but that's okay. That's okay.
I don't know about all that.
I just live here. I'm a person. I'm a man.
What are you talking about?
I'm a man. All right.
Sometimes you aggravate me because you say the opposite of what you actually are.
You're not gonna catch me with that one, motherfucker.
Catch you with what?
No.
Catch you with what?
No. That's not going to happen today.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Motherfucker.
I seriously don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about either. We're just talking about making sure that you didn't commit mass murder to your hamster, and you didn't. So we're good.
Do you know what mass murder? What is going on today? What's wrong with you?
Nothing is wrong.
Do you know what mass murder is?
Mass is kind of like it's like a. Think about it like a body of water.
More than one.
Yeah, like a body. Yeah, like a body.
Just
of
like
water.
cereal, not the fucking one you eat.
Well, first of all, I was not going down that road because, well, that would be rude. Second of all, is that it's just kind of crazy because I didn't think about that either. But you're probably right. A lot of people probably killed their hamsters prematurely. Not to say that they were going to be around forever, but
yeah. You never know.
I would just think if
but 20 degrees Celsius is like 40 degrees. I don't think the house was fucking. Wait, what is 20 degrees in fucking Fahrenheit?
20 degrees Fahrenheit or in Celsius?
No, it said 20 degrees Celsius. I'm looking what it is, and oh my god, RJ, are you okay today, man?
Yeah, dude.
You seem a little slow. I think it's the weed.
No, I will never do it again.
Well, that's a lie.
Possibly. All right, so 20 degrees Celsius.
68. Oh, well, it could have been lower than that.
All right.
I mean, it was in the house. I don't think it could have been lower than 68, though.
Yeah, if you got your house lower than 68, what kind of?
Well,
it depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Like, what's the normal temperature for you in your house? If you just had to like throw one out there.
Well, it depends on. Recently, it's been set to 68. Only because my room gets a lot hotter than the rest of the house. Especially now that I have to have my door closed more these days.
Now, I will say that my room typically gets to be the hottest one in the house too. But my mom,
you're on the backside, right?
My room is on the backside of the house.
Yeah, so you're getting a lot of sun.
But my mom kind of teeters around 71.
I don't think the front gets as much sun.
And well, because her room is obviously in the front of the house.
I said the front doesn't get as much sun.
So that could be. I was just trying to.
You're not listening. Are you
I
trying
am
to process?
listening. Yeah, I'm processing it as I'm talking, and
a lot slower.
It's a very hard thing for me to do.
Yeah,
as most of you know.
Your presumption is correct, nigga.
Very correct. But no, like we tried it. Like I've never had it. But well, put it this way: have you ever had a day where it's been hot, like just like when we were at the bar, it's hot as balls. You come in the house, and then after a while, you're like, "Oh man, it's too fucking cold in here." Have you ever had like one of those? Just from the switch over kind of ordeal.
No, actually, it's funny. We were talking about this yesterday. Big Dave, fucking cat. Actually, I'm working on a joke about that, but so I don't want to say it. But Big Dave was talking about how now that he's lost weight, some people will say they're hot or some people will say they're cold, and he's like always comfortable. And I was like, why is that so funny?
No, because that sounds like something Dave would say.
But I mean, it makes sense because if you spent most of your life always being hot because you got extra weight,
I got you.
Or extra layers, and then now everybody's like I get cold pretty easily because I don't have like a lot of fat. Like I'm mostly, although lately I've been like watch once I start going back to the gym and I start building muscle mass again, I'm gonna fucking be cold a lot because
not much to protect yourself from that. I got you.
Not as much insulation. So like now he's like, oh, now I'm comfortable. I'm like, yeah, you're comfortable because fucking you've been used to being hot your entire life, and now you're like, oh shit, this is what it's like to have a normal fucking regulated body temperature.
Yeah.
You know
well, I mean, first of all, good for that gentleman. But there have been days, even not in the recent weeks, even though it's been really hot lately. But there are days it's like, I'll come home.
Now, if I'm in the fucking hot, then yeah, of course I'm hot.
Yeah. But when you get in there have been days where I come home and then, that first blast kind of, it hits you and you're like, all right. I was like, that feels good.
Well, I don't really. Well, your AC is probably different. Mine is motion detected, so like if nobody's moving in front of it, then it won't come on. Now, if I walk in the door and it hasn't been on all day, then it'll come on as long as the house is at a certain temperature that's already set.
I gotcha.
I guess that's supposed to save money, but at the same time, if it has to go to if it has to redo everything from the beginning all over again, like say I've been gone for a week, and the shit, like say I turned it off, and then I come in and I've been gone for a week, it's still summertime, then once I turn it on, it's gonna have to fucking crank up and fucking just be running for a minute just to get the fucking
just to go through that motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
But usually when I go out of town, I'll set it. You can also set it to a schedule, so it'll still pop on once it gets to a certain.
Okay.
Even in the wintertime, if the heat is on, and it's set to, even if it's a low temperature, it'll still kick on.
I gotcha.
When the schedule says for it to come on.
Well, I mean, it's important, but there have been days I've come home to where maybe like an hour after being home, I might come down. And again, the now that you mention it, the fronter part of my house, like the downstairs area.
I'll be real, this is not interesting to anybody.
I know, but well, we're on it, so I'm just going to finish it up and say that I'll come downstairs and I'll be like, man, it's fucking cold down here, dude.
Well, it's colder downstairs.
Yeah, obviously. Well, I get that. I mean, I know how I understand how that stuff
works.
works.
What do you got to set it?
Well, I'm just saying me from the transition from my
room.
What
does it set at? Because the thermostat is usually on the middle floor. Well, so what does it set at?
Thermostat's on our middle floor, which is...
That's what I just said. Thermostat is on the middle floor. Continue on what I just asked you. What is it set at?
Right now, I think it's on 71.
Okay, so 71.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not bad. Because so upstairs is going to be warm. Downstairs is going to be...
Well, I noticed...
And then down here is going to be cold as fuck.
Yeah, and...
Because
and
it's all going from... And this is underground.
Yeah, well, so I get that.
Underground is already always 56 degrees. Like, that's just... You dig out a hole outside and go down into it. It's 56 degrees.
Really? Is that just standard for...
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah.
I did not know that. See, did you learn how to dig a hole here on the Mad Scientist Lab? Because I did.
Well, I mean, obviously the hole has to be kind of enclosed, but if you go underground, the underground temperature is 56 usually.
All right. So, all right. But I'd come downstairs. But no, I get this, like, wave of coldness where I'm like where I'm, like, shivering.
You might just be a bitch.
I don't know.
Or you could just shut the fuck up, put a hoodie on, and fucking keep about your merry day.
Yeah, well, I don't think putting a hoodie on in the summertime is the best idea.
I do it all the time. In my house? What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I might, put a shirt or... I'm not putting a hoodie on in the summer.
If it's cold inside the house, what the fuck are you talking about?
If it's fucking freezing in my house, I'll put a hoodie on. I'm not saying I'm freezing. I'm just saying they're...
If I get cold in my house, I'm putting a hoodie on. What are you talking about?
You don't adjust the temperature?
Adjust the temperature to what?
I don't know. I'm just saying I wouldn't have thought about putting a hoodie on in the summer.
Well, I'm not turning the heat on if it's that cold. I would just put a fucking hoodie on. What are you talking about? You don't put other articles of clothing on when you're in the house? Are you insane right now?
No, I'm not insane. I'm just saying, like, logically, for me.
So what do you do with your hoodies in the summertime?
I mean, they're in my closet. I wash them when they get dirty from sitting in my closet. I mean, I don't put them on. It's the summertime.
Bro, you're tripping. So what do you do if you're cold in the house?
So if I'm cold in the house, okay. So good question.
This is what I was asking.
But you asked, so now I'm getting there. Is that I put the blanket around me for about 2 minutes and I'm good.
Okay, same thing. I put a fucking hoodie on for fucking 30 minutes and I'm good. Like,
well, see, you didn't say you were taking the hoodie off. That's what was that's what the kicker for me was. Just saying. We're a professional podcast. We're probably the best podcast you've ever heard. Hopefully. Potentially. Actually, you know what? I'm right. I'm right about a lot of things, including this podcast and our hoodies, which you should buy one at the Mad Scientist shop. What's the link, Jared?
It's just ! Merch in the Twitch chat.
There you go. If you get cold in your house,
dumbfounded right now.
don't be dumbfounded.
Oh, I put mugs on there too for the Lee 2024.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
You glad I said that?
I'm just glad you said that, so we can reiterate that.
I have a script written for the commercial that we're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm excited, and you should be excited because this November, who needs the rest of these motherfuckers when you've got Jared Lee, the man who's going to take space species to another level, who's going to take America and make it great. Period.
And I'm bringing this back.
Gay!
Because you deserve it.
And retard.
Yeah, fucking retard. Anyway.
Luckily, that's on the end, so YouTube won't catch that one.
You're not going to catch us, big brother. Brother! Sorry, I was playing Metal Gear Solid. But make sure when you cast your vote this November on that blurry November day when it's frigid outside.
It probably won't be frigid. It'll be hot as fuck, just like it is right now.
But make sure you put on your official Mad Scientist Lab hoodie.
Yeah, why don't y'all buy that shit? It's fucking. Well, I don't think the hoodies. The hoodie's not in there. The T-shirts are in there. There's hats in there. Why don't I just pull it up real quick?
Yeah, pull it up. And cold outside, put your Mad Scientist Lab hoodie on. Warm outside, grab your Mad Scientist mug
Did you just not hear me say there is no hoodies yet?
I did, but I'm going to continue to talk because I don't listen.
Clearly. That is fucking 100% clear.
If it's warm outside, take your mug, pour that whiskey in there. Who needs coffee when you've got booze? And who needs booze when you have coffee? Because you can use it for both. And I'm going to tell you, that is the Jared Lee way 2024. I liked it.
You liked it?
I thought it was pretty good.
Not bad.
I'm working on it. I've been actually yelling at my shower curtain for you lately. If not to be weird. Like, well, I'm in my shower, and that's kind of like my Zen time. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to point at it, with my finger off to the side like this.
Well, you should be working on not yelling. That's what you should be working on.
I can't help it. It's who I am.
Or at least not into the microphone.
That is something I will continue to work on. I do agree.
I do it. Oh, I got to switch back to.
Ooh, look at those! Look at those hats, bro. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And those are like the ones that I have. That's a trucker hat. Hold on.
Do you know how much fucking ass I'll get in a hat like that? I'm buying one, and you should buy one. You should buy one.
I told you to give me fucking. You got to give me a list of shit that you want, so I can. This is what I was doing.
Ooh,
in here.
Look at that. Look at those. I'm gonna rock my hat, rock my shirt. I'm going into a fucking Cracker Barrel, dude. With that shit on. You know how much fucking ass I'm gonna get? More than a toilet seat.
Well, there's Mad Scientist Lab hoodies available, and sweatshirts. I could do one for Lee Smith, but motherfuckers ain't buying what was already in there. But there is also a mug. You can't see it, but it's the same logo as what's on the shirt and the hat.
Yeah, get your campaign started right.
Yeah, get your fucking presidential campaign shit now, son. I'm really excited about the hat. People are gonna ask about that one.
Dude, the hat is dope. I like the hat a lot. I really, really do. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. If I were to wear that hat, dude, I feel like I could walk into a gas station and pump it for free.
People would be like, "What the fuck? Who's Lee? Jared Lee?"
I feel like
he's running for president.
I feel like I
Who's
could.
that?
I can get a pack of Slim Jims and they're already be open.
Just reminding me, I gotta do the fucking website. Oh, there's something else I need to fucking.
I feel like I could go in there and the coffee's gonna pour itself. I almost feel like the pizza is gonna melt in my mouth. That sounds really fucking awkward. I'm sorry. I feel like the spaghetti is gonna sauce itself, which sounds even worse. I don't know why I do this. You know what?
I got news for you. that means you're gay.
If I was,
And there's nothing wrong with that, ladies and gentlemen.
there's not.
As president of the United States of America, there is nothing wrong with RJ being gay.
I got news for you. That means you're gay.
There's nothing wrong with your pronouns and your proteins and your protein powders and your
we like proteins.
your pre-workouts. Nothing wrong with any of that.
You get them from nuts.
What?
You like peanuts, like cashews.
No, you get magnesium from nuts.
Oh,
Dummy. And if you elect me president, ladies and gentlemen, you'll learn beautiful fucking facts like that instead of going around spewing dumb shit to everyone.
who wants to spew dumb shit to everyone? Who wants to just lie to the public? Not Jared Lee. So make sure that when you cast that vote in November of 2024, you think, you know what? I don't want to build back better. I don't want to make America great again. I want to make America great, period. Vote Jared Lee, 2024, the official host and sponsor of the Mad Scientist Lab podcast.
What did they say at the end? This message is brought to you by the Jared Lee Smith campaign.
This message is brought to you by RJ, who's had too much to drink.
That's it. But wait till you see the script. Oh, I can pull it up here. I'll show you after.
Well, I'm excited. I like to see things before they actually happen. They make me feel involved.
Maybe it's not on here. Is it on here?
What are you looking for? Your script?
Yeah, I don't know if I put it on.
Well,
maybe it might be on my laptop.
Long story short, folks, support the campaign. Support the trail. We're starting from California, okay? All the way to Washington.
if you donate, you can donate down here. Oh, well, shit. You can donate down here, and I can actually travel places, and I can actually campaign. But like, if you don't donate,
your baby hasn't been christened properly. Just because it dumped its head in holy water in the
need
church
money.
that you grew up in doesn't mean it's been blessed. To be blessed is to be kissed by the lips of Jared Lee.
Shut up.
You like that?
Donate. The link is down in the bottom on the Twitch channel. I guess I'll have to put the link in the YouTube description. So you can donate so that I can get plane tickets and go on the actual trail, the campaign trail. And in the meantime, guess what? I might do some comedy in those areas also.
You hear that? You hear that? Not only are you getting a presidential candidate.
Yeah, you're getting a presidential candidate who's going to also do stand-up in a town near you.
Yeah, near you. And thank you for joining us for the 241st episode of the Mad Scientist Lab podcast with Jared Lee and RJ. As always, please check us out anywhere you get your podcasts. That is Apple Music, Spotify, all that good stuff. Monday, 9 a.m. sharp for the visual on YouTube. And as the ball gets rolling on the campaign trail, support your local politician, Jared Lee. He's going to kiss your baby and fuck your bitch. We'll see you guys next week.
Hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The Merit Scientist Lab. The Merit Scientist Lab. The Merit Scientist Lab. Merit Scientist Lab.
You can't have an opinion on something that you haven't even tried.
Exactly.
The Merit Scientist